What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Excuse the throat, I'm a little bit hoarse from the FA Cup final at the weekend. Yeah, it was a crazy game, but we got the win. And yeah, I'm a little bit hoarse, so excuse the throat. Anyway, we've got something a little bit different today. Um, we've got a formation custom tactics that I'm using in the weekend league, but it kind of coincides with the way Manchester United were kind of set up at the weekend. So it's the 4-3-3-5, the one with the centre forward. So the one with the false nine. So this is a false nine setup, but there's a slight tweak and a variation to how I've done this compared to previous versions. Obviously it's the patch and things like that. So that does make a difference to how we set this formation up. But please, please, please bear with me, because you're going to want to see the instructions to this, because this defends differently to what you think it might defend like, and it attacks differently as well. So just to put it into a little bit of context, I'm using this in the weekend league. I'm using my CM effectively as a striker, if that makes sense. So if we look at the way this is set up really, really quickly, you can see Vialli is my left centre mid. All will be explained if you watch till the end of this video. So anyway, this is how it's set up. It's balanced 45-66, fast build up, direct passing, 40 on the width, want to keep it narrow, 7, 2 and 2. This formation is highly recommended. It plays narrow in the midfield and wide up front, if that makes any kind of sense to you guys. Again, it will all make sense if you watch the gameplay and watch the instructions at the end. Now, this is going to be purely weekend league video. This was so much fun to film. It was so much fun to play with. I got to use players I haven't used for a long time. I also got to use a formation that I very rarely use, and not only that, it was making a massive difference against the 4-2-2s, the 4-3-2-1s, the 4-4-2s. You're going to see the gameplay, guys. Honestly, some of the games I was 3-0 down, and this formation it's crazy good going forward, and it's really good defensively if you know how it works. So let me stop waffling on. We'll jump into the gameplay, and then we'll come back to the instructions for how this was all set up, and I'll explain everything as we go along. So yeah, gameplay coming up. Subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be amazing. We're going to jump straight into it, guys. Yeah, 2-0 down. Not a good start to your weekend league, going 2-0 down, but it's always worth persevering, because these formations and these tactics that we set up, they do give you that opportunity to make that comeback. So bear that in mind. Don't always just give up when you see the scoreline, because this game is so unpredictable. It's ridiculous at times, and like I've said many times before, it's very rare that you don't concede at least 2 goals in a game. And yeah, just bear that in mind. So what we're going to show you here is we're defending, and instantly a 4-4-2 is made. You can see it's a 4-4-2, 2 banks of 4. That's the way it's set, because I was controlling Vialli previously, so I left him upfield. He will eventually run back along with Ronaldo, and that is kind of what you want. And I gave away a stupid penalty there like an idiot, but he missed the penalty, so we're still 2-2. But because of the way this formation is set up, your players are just running. Fast build up works massively well, especially recently, and you can do that quick passing, which I love at the minute. It's frustrating when you come up against people that use the 4-3-2-1. They just pass. It's so hard to pick up the runners. It's so hard, to pick up that passing, but when it works so well. So definitely use that. And what you'll also find is, because obviously we're coming towards the end of the TOTS now, people are just gung-ho, they're just going for it, and they're not changing that mentality, which is fair play to them. But because they're not changing that mentality, our formations will allow us to, like here for example, we've got Rice in between the 2 defenders. We're just trying to slow the game down. We've just conceded a goal at this point, so we are just trying to be a little bit more cautious, but we get the ball through to Ronaldo, into Mbappe. He tackles me, and yeah, we get a penalty, and we go off with a 5-3 win. So yeah, never give up, guys. Honestly, do not give up if you're 2-0 down. Try my formations out. yeah, we'll move on to the next game. There's a couple of game clips in here. I'm not going to show the entirety because it gets a little bit too much and the videos get way too long. But you'll get the gist of this 4-3-3-5 anyway. You can see, as you guys probably are all aware, when you come up against certain weekend league players, I think 9 out of 10 games now are just like super attacky. So we have a formation for that as well, which will be coming up on Friday. I think we'll do the super attacking formation on Friday, because it'll be like ultimate tots then. And like I say, you are going to concede goals. I keep repeating that, but it is the truth. You will concede no matter what. There's no such thing as a non-conceding formation or anything like that. It just doesn't exist in this game. This game is made and designed that it goes backwards and forwards the way it does. So just bear that in mind when you use these formations. This striker, Vlahovic, my God, 97 shooting. He is super cheap, and if you're running a Serie A team, he is an absolute must. He can shoot from anywhere on either foot. He's good in the air, he's strong. And yeah, for his price, I would highly recommend him if you're running a Serie A team. Luckily, I got him as an untradeable card, and I was doing the Serie A objective, so I was using him as well as DeMarcos and Barella. So I just thought, yeah, let's whack him in there. So yeah, we completed the Serie A one quite quickly, to be honest. The objectives online, a lot of people did quit, which was weird because last weekend we didn't have that many quitters. In Rivals we've had a lot of quitters, but not in Weekend League. And it's the same goes for Old Gen as well. Using this formation, it plays exactly the same. There's no issues with that at all. You don't have to change anything, keep it as it is. My son has tried it on his PS4, so that's absolutely cool. And yeah, 2-0 up, cruising along. Again, a super aggressive guy. You can be super aggressive in this game and get your wins, but if you're overly aggressive, you're gonna concede a lot of goals like this guy did. I mean, it's a perfect example right here. He's all out attack. You can see that he's got one player back. Quick counter attack with the 4-3-3, straight to Vialli, who is an absolute meta player in this game. He's not gonna miss, and yeah, we go away with a 4-0 victory in Weekend League. So yeah, this kind of reminds me of a 4-1-2-1-2, whereas the two wingers act as your two strikers, but they're extremely wide in this setup. So the left back and right back are on stay back and overlap. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Now imagine your 4-3-2-1 and everybody sets that up to defend in a 4-4-2. This is very similar to how I have this defensively, but if you had seen the gameplay and seen where I've paused certain sections, you would have seen this defends in a 4-5-1. And also, depending on who you're controlling at the time, a 4-4-2. Now that's really interesting for me, because if you're controlling, say, Ronaldo in this instance, who is my false 9, you will drop into a 4-5-1. If you're controlling Vialli, who is my other striker, my second striker, you'll be defending in a 4-4-2. Again, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the gameplay, and I will pause those sections to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Now, the two CMs, so in this case it's Rice and Fernandez, they are both on balanced defence, stay back, cover centre. They're both exactly the same. My Vialli, get forward, get in the box for crosses, cover centre. He's going to be my second striker, and he is going to meet up with Ronaldo. That's the interesting part. The left wing, come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind, get in the box for crosses. The right wing, come back, cut inside, get in the box for crosses. Exactly the same. So effectively, if I'm controlling Vialli, for example, when I can highlight the damn guy, you clearly see he will push up next to Ronaldo. Garnacho will drop back. Athenia will drop back. That's your 4-4-2. If I'm controlling Ronaldo, because of where Vialli's set up to, he will naturally drop back next to Fernandez and Rice. And your left wing and right wing are dropping back naturally. So that's your 4-5-1. So you can effectively defend in two different ways with this formation. And that is so confusing for your opponent. And you would have seen in the gameplay, my opponents probably would have blasted me out of the water, 2-3 goals up. They're thinking, I'm cruising, I'll just drop to a different formation, or I'll keep my fullbacks back. Big mistake. Big mistake, because you have to get to grips with this formation, how it defends first. And the first couple of weekend league games that I played with this formation, and you will see, I did concede quite a few goals, but I come back. Because once you get to grips with how this works, it's an amazing formation, and it is so, so underrated. And yeah, I can't recommend giving this one a try. You know, you could make your own kind of, you could have, instead, you could have Rice on stay back and these two midfielders here on balanced, you know, and then have, again, Ronaldo instead of on stay central balanced, and then effectively you could play it as a 4-1-2-1-2. And just change your whip slightly so the two wingers are closer together. There's so many different variations to this formation. It is such a good formation. You know, it got me through some sticky patches in elite rivals as well. I've done that in that, but I think the weekend league is where we're at the minute. So, you know, that's why I'm showing the weekend league gameplay. I hope I've explained this correctly and that everybody understands how this works. It does work on old gen as well, so give it a try on old gen, definitely. If you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be amazing. So close to 1,000 subs, that would be awesome if we can do that. And until next time, everybody look after themselves and take care.